Cuba was one of the first countries to respond when Ebola struck West Africa. It sent hundreds of health workers, perhaps not surprising given its long-term commitment to the continent. Cuba has trained hundreds of African doctors and nurses in its prolific medical schools over many years. To many Africans, the island nation is an old friend, and Fidel Castro a hero. During the height of the Cold War, Castro sent thousands of troops to Ethiopia to fight off the Somali military, which had invaded the country. Cubans also fought in Algeria and what was then known as Zaire. But it was in Angola that Cuba played its most pivotal role. It supported Angola's biggest liberation movement against American and South African soldiers as well as rebels. Teboho Padu was there in the 80s, fighting alongside Cubans.
It was a quite special contribution, I will say, coming from a country that is not part of Africa, from another continent, and sharing with us, sharing their blood with us. Thousands of Cubans died with us. They shared trenches with us, you know. So it was quite a immeasurable contribution, you could say.
John Lieberman was also there, one of the few journalists able to cut through the apartheid regime's propaganda, but he's wary of romanticizing a war.
Let's not forget, the Cubans were soldiers. They were not humanitarians. They stuck to military doctrine and military law, and they were often very harsh. They were also killing Angolan citizens, especially those in UNITA or those that opposed them.
However divisive they were for some people, they were certainly decisive. Victory in Angola shattered the illusion of white invincibility, led to independence for Namibia, an end to apartheid in South Africa, and freedom for Nelson Mandela. After his release, Mandela visited Castro to cement a friendship forged from mutual respect. It was also an opportunity for Mandela to personally thank Castro for Cuba's contribution in defeating apartheid when many other countries wouldn't help. That's something many Africans say they won't forget.
The Cubans only wanted to see freedom and an end to the treatment of Africa as a playground for powerful nations while people suffered.
Tanya Page, Al Jazeera, Johannesburg.